performance. Proof your parents shouldn't always let you follow your dreams. But I fell into writing for a living, working for my college newspaper, then bigger newspapers, then making websites, then giving talks at colleges and workshops. Then on the side, I started doing stand-up comedy and improv, and writing funny things for money, and so much more. Lots of failure along the way. This audiobook happened because I've reinvented myself a few times. One thing I did was I went from being a balding, fat, and fun party drunk young professional to a skinnier and healthier, non-drinking older professional, now featuring less hair. I wrote a blog post near the end of 2015 detailing what I learned not drinking for 2 years. And in a tale as old as time, it went crazy viral. The same thing happened to Jane Austen. It ran in newspapers, all over the internet, even on the Today Show website. Hi, Matt Lauer. Months prior to my viralness, I wrote an early version of what you're listening to. I would try to get it published after I finished my mystery novel about a former stockbroker turned vampire who goes back to his hometown to find his missing sister during his 10-year high school reunion. Yes, it's as awesome as it sounds. Because if there's anyone you want advice from, it's the guy who came up with that convoluted plot. Then, during my virality period, which sounds like something from the Dark Ages, a second tale as old as time happened. A fantastic editor reached out, asking me about this advice book I mentioned writing in my viral blog post. Just like Jane Austen. Now, many months later, here we are. A book of advice exists, and you're listening to it right now. In this audio program, you'll hear a bunch of advice about life, love, happiness, health, dating, careers, hobbies, and not looking like a dumbass. I especially excel at the latter, because if anyone's looked regularly like a dumbass and learned from it, it's me. Here's a quick list of my biggest moments of awkwardness. I was once hired to give a talk at a college, and they had some delicious food for the speakers. I complimented the hosts on their deep dish egg pizza. They informed me the correct term is quiche. They didn't book me a second time. By accident, I once called a boss Mom. This boss was also a man. A woman once broke up with me after seeing me at the grocery store. She had her new boy toy in tow and was like, "Oh, by the way." In college, I wrote a sex advice column once about dealing with your dorm neighbors having loud conjugal relations, in which I referred to sex as the, quote, potato toss. I was once so fat, I ripped my pants in the middle of a meeting at the 8th largest newspaper in America, and then fixed those pants with duct tape. See? I'm a normal human, like you. Also, it's important I mention this. I am a white, heterosexual cis dude raised by 2 loving middle-class Midwestern parents, so I definitely see the world through that privilege lens. I've tried to check that privilege whenever possible, but I know I've made mistakes with that because I'm not perfect, yet. Regardless, the advice in these pages should still be helpful to anyone trying to figure shit out, or who's attempting to understand someone who's trying to figure shit out. Hello, parents! This audio program is mostly about one big idea. We all fail a lot, and then we learn from it. And that's okay. Hopefully you can learn from my soul-crushing fumbles and jump ahead to the nifty parts of life without having to spend almost a decade, like I did, just kind of treading water in the ocean of early adulthood. Lastly, even if you think this advice is awful, I wrote a bunch of jokes. At the very least, I hope you laugh. I know I did while writing this. Good luck. I believe in you. Andy Boyle.